Welcome to Your Life is Art, The Essentials, and I am so excited to share this with you. First, I want to start off with one of my new essentials. I have just saged my space before doing this video. So now that that is done, I'm going to jump in and introduce myself. So my name is Pam, and I have radically shifted my life, my mental health, my physical health in a very big way in the past 5 years. Like very dramatic, shed 75 pounds completely naturally, melted off of me. Never once made it based on the scale. I had it completely based on how I feel. And along my journey, I've had many people make comments and compliments about the shift within my lifestyle, and how one of the most common responses, which is not my favorite, is, how did you get so skinny? And I don't like that word, only because it's not about being skinny, and it never was about being skinny for me. It was all about how I feel. And I knew at that time in my life, I was not feeling like me. I didn't even know at that time who me was. I felt lost over the time. So I now have teenagers. At the time, they were a lot younger when my health was not great. And so it was a mental battle between previous life, previous to kids, went through an infertility journey, and then kids, which is like babies, toddlers. So it's very mind consuming, right? And it's too easy for moms especially, but for both parents, to put aside their personal health needs because they have children. So let's dive in. So the first section is that I feel really crucial to making a shift within your life is your home environment. Where do you live? And honestly, let's just set the record straight right here, okay? I don't care if you live in a mansion, if you live in a home, in an apartment. I don't care. What I care about is how you feel in your life and in your spaces. Because let's be real, everyone's life is different. So exactly step by step, exactly what I did to get my health to where it is today doesn't mean it's going to work for you, because your health is individual, right? Just like mine is. So every little thing that I did, I will share lots of details of what I did, but it all may not resonate with you, and that's okay. What does resonate with you, that's what you want to see if you can incorporate into your life. And very, very, very important, when making changes in your life, take baby steps. Don't rush. Make sure you're comfortable. The one thing that I have found, and I should mention this, if you haven't figured out your human design, please dive in and figure that out. I'm pretty sure I get into that. I do get into that later. So we will talk about that a little in a few minutes. So your home environment, okay? Think about your space as a whole. Think about your space in your bedroom. Do you have a specific space within your home that is yours and yours only? I am truly, truly grateful that my Zen Den is mine. It's a healing space. I love it. It was not like this last year. It was not. No, it was not like this at all. And what's interesting is I have found the more I pour into me and my space, yes, it takes time, but it's in alignment with me 100%. So little shifts you can make within your home. Decluttering, big, 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 big. Repurposing. Are there things within your home that maybe it's in your bedroom and it would work better in your laundry room, or maybe it's in your kitchen and it would work better in your garage? I don't know. I personally have a dresser that's in my closet. I love it. I love it. It's an antique dresser, but it's big. And every time I walk in my closet, I love the dresser because I love that it's old and it's real wood. Like you can get it these days, but it's so much harder to find, right? So what I really, really encourage is get comfortable. Get comfortable. Because when we're uncomfortable, that's when we make really bad and challenging decisions, right? So you want to be comfortable, because if we're not comfortable and we're coming home and, oh, I hate this, I hate that, why do we have this? There's so much of this, it's going to weigh you down. It's going to weigh you down mentally, and then it's going to affect you physically. 100%. There's always something emotional behind the physical pain and discomfort that we're having. So what we want to do is really find a balance within our home environment. So we want to treat our bodies with love and respect. Okay. So one thing I will admit, I was very, very ignorant with my health. Very. Years ago, when I was only 23, I was diagnosed with infertility, which was devastating, absolutely devastating to hear at 23 years old. We just got married, had complete plans of starting our family as soon as we got married, and roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. And then, oh, you have this health issue, and now this health issue, and now this health issue. Some of the health issues I was already dealing with prior to that. When I was in college, I had multiple surgeries, and my digestive system was a mess for years. So it was devastating. And I'll be honest, I didn't properly deal with it. I didn't properly deal with bad relationship previous, and it just kind of compounded, like the compound effect. A really good book if you're looking for one. So you want to find peace and contentment within your home, and especially if you have any invisible illnesses, or any visible illnesses as well. For me, they were invisible. So if someone looked at me, they would think nothing was wrong. And that was frustrating. That was really frustrating. When I was diagnosed with PCOS, no one knew what it was. And I felt so alone. So very alone. I did not feel understood. I did not feel supported. It was a really, really challenging time. And especially because it was my health that was affecting, it then created with my husband and I, right? I felt broken. I was the problem. I was internalizing everything. So then it creates a block between us even. So it's very important to pay attention to our mental and physical health and how we feel. Extremely important. Why the home environment is very important for this is, well, we live and sleep here, right? I mean, you're not here most people aren't home 24 hours, which is great. But we're in our homes a lot. So we want to make sure we're using products that are beneficial for our health and not going to harm our health. So some of those things are, and it kind of rolls down into section 2. So I am working on a handout. I'm going to have it ready very soon. So it's just going to be broken into these areas where you can literally kind of dive in, not doing a super deep dive. Like it's going to be a skim the surface, but it's going to be a great skim the surface because you can kind of do like a quick overview of your life and how you currently feel. So within your home environment, keeping our mental and physical health in mind, we want to think of ingredients. And I know this is one thing that especially when the kids are younger, like you just want to be in and out of the store, right? You want to trust what you hear. You want to believe everything you see. I get it. I'm a mom. I have had health issues myself. It's important to read the ingredients. It's important to get really comfortable with reading something and then saying, maybe that's not for us. To choose to put your health first. Yes, it means stepping out of the norm, but it also means finding your norm. Because what I know my hardest time was adjusting to the fact that, so in 2017, when I finally decided, okay, it's time. It's time. I did not believe for a second. I kept telling myself I did not believe that I will lose weight. But there was something in me. There was something in me that said, keep going. Keep going. So up until that point, I had learned about essential oils in June of 2014. So it's been a while. I think it was 2014. Yes, 2014, June of 2014. So yes, it's been a while that we have had these beautiful little bottles in our house. And like I said, take it or leave it, because what works for me, the essential oils are freaking fantabulous and they do amazing things. May not be your thing. Totally cool. Totally cool. They have transformed my life though, completely. So back in 2014, I was looking for something that could help our family. Prior to that, when I was younger, I was sick all the time. Ear, nose, throat, all that. My son had bouts with that. And I remember being in the in the pharmacy the one day, and I picked up a random bottle of oil, and it was oil of oregano. I had heard that oil of oregano was something that was very good for if you weren't feeling good, if you were feeling under the weather. But something, when I was in that store, I picked it up and I looked at it and I thought, I don't know anything about this. And I put it back. So I'm also naturally a questioner. I think it's Gretchen Rubin. If you Google Gretchen Rubin, it's going to be in my handout when I link it up. She has an interesting quiz that you can do and give you just a little more in-depth on who you are, who your personality is. So I am naturally a questioner. Totally makes sense. That's what I did in the store that day. I questioned, I saw something, and I thought, okay, I've heard this is good. Where do I get it? Do I trust getting it from here? Do I not? Like, what should I do? So 2017 then, I'm just going to jump forward a little bit. I decided it's time. I'm putting my health first. In 2015, I started a very high quality multivitamin, minerals, omega oils, those types of things, and noticed a positive shift. And so then I thought, okay, this is shifting. This is shifting. I went from, in 2014, I used to take pain medication every single day. It was rare that I went a day without pain medication because I was always uncomfortable, discomfort, pain, always. So my first step was, I didn't want to take those pills anymore. What can I do? So I started looking for natural options. And it was a very challenging, probably 2 months as I transitioned myself from going to a pill bottle and taking that pill multiple times a day for pain, which I was legitimately in pain. So what did I do in my home environment? What did I do? I shifted my diet. I used to think, I was having peanut butter on toast every morning. Like, why am I dragging myself by mid-morning or by, even before lunchtime? Well, the peanut butter was pretty much like taking a sleeping pill, which aren't good either, because of hydrogenated oils. So here I thought, in my mind, I was making a healthy choice, but I wasn't turning the bottle to read the label. So that's when I started beginning to connect the dots. And I also remember years ago, digestive issues, pizza, nachos, lots of different things. And it was devastating because those were some of my favorite things. And I'm pretty sure I know. I'm very, very, very sensitive to garlic, and it's like an instant trigger. So it's getting in touch with your body. And this is where first step, home environment. So feeling comfortable in your home, with your food, turning the bottles around and reading those labels and really getting comfortable with, even if it's a brand you've been using for years. If there's harmful ingredients in those bottles, what benefit are you getting from it? What benefit are you honestly getting from it? And years ago, when we had younger kids, it was so easy to focus on, well, it's on sale. It's only $2.99, thinking hair shampoo, conditioner, right? It's only $2.99. The commercials and the advertising says it's good. So why wouldn't I trust them? We have to be our own advocates to look out for ourselves. The businesses that sell those things are in business to sell them, right? So we have to choose to put ourselves first. So when we choose the things that come in our home, we used to buy the boxed chicken fingers all the time. And that was my go-to because my mental health was declined. It wasn't great. And so I'd come home from work, had, both the kids, they were younger, and it was too easy to just be like, no, we'll just have that. We'll have something. So we were eating a lot of processed foods from the grocery store that don't have great ingredients at all. So I cut that out, and that really helped. It really, really helped. So jumping then into our health, our physical health, our mental, our emotional, consuming foods or using things on our skin. So lotion, shampoo, conditioner, cleaners within our home, anything that might touch our skin or we breathe in or we ingest will affect our health, either positively, negatively, or possibly neutral. Everything does. Everything affects our health. So with our health, our physical, mental, and emotional, it's very important to think of, don't overthink too. Don't overthink, because I can be good at overthinking. And that's one essential, that to think of your life as art. Art is priceless. Art is one of a kind, unique, just like each one of us. And that's when I came up with my website name years ago. It flowed beautifully. But to be honest, it wasn't until this year that I was like, what is that purpose? What is the purpose of your life as art? It's a lifestyle. It's a fucking lifestyle. It's whatever lights you up. It's whatever means something to you. That's what your life as art is. Because what I value will be different than you. And that's just like art. Art is valued so uniquely and individually. It's beautiful that way. So some of the things I also started doing, along with shifting my diet at home, which was phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. I began feeling my body, like feeling inside. And I hadn't felt it before. I really hadn't. So the other thing that I focused really, really strongly on was really paying attention to how I felt after I ate something, how I felt after I slept. Did I sleep? I have a history years ago, like not sleeping good at all. So one reason why we brought some essential oils into our home is they support mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in many ways. They can be used to help with sleep and relaxation. They can be used to help with coughs and colds, muscle aches, sprains, arthritis, so many, like any health issue. To be 100% honest, we have a huge rack in our house. If you're new, check out some of my previous pictures and videos. But if you've been on my channel for a while, or you've been back and forth, you've probably seen my huge wall rack that has all of our essential oils that we have in our home organized alphabetically. So anytime anyone is looking for an oil, unless they're, like last night, this was the lineup for kids massage. So there you go. It's become our norm. And be proud, be very, very proud of whatever your norm is. Be proud. That was one thing I was lacking years ago. When I started with the essential oils, this is On Guard, this is the oil of protection. I highly recommend, if you are interested in oils, I would love to help you. But like I said, what worked for me may not work for you. And if you're not feeling drawn to certain things, totally cool. If you are, I'd love to chat. One of my favorite books is the Essential Emotions book. And literally what it is, so I'll show you, On Guard, is the oil of protection. So emotionally, so I'm just going to read you just a little bit of information about that blend. And it's honestly the emotional aspects of these oils that has really, really drawn me in. So On Guard is the oil of protection. This combination of oils is generally used to shield individuals from harmful threats. This blend's protective properties, however, extend beyond the physical level by aiding individuals in warding off energetic parasites, domineering personalities, and other negative influences. doTERRA On Guard strengthens one's immune system, which governs the ability to defend against attacks from both physical and negative energies. So it is an awesome, awesome oil to have in your home. Briefly, we'll run through. These are some of our favorites that we use all the time. So tea tree, it's great for all the things, colds and coughs. And if you have anything starting on your face, I use these all the time. I do recommend, I don't have a bottle on my desk, but like a carrier oil. So you can use like a coconut oil or a jojoba or a rose hip, anything like that. But if you have anything going on, and like I said, I use these all the time. So I know what's safe for me and my body. So I use tea tree all the time for all the things skin related. It is a beautiful oil to use. Wild orange. I call this one of our essentials because it is great for calming and also uplifting. I love using this at bedtime. Actually, two that I like using together are Serenity and Wild Orange. So nice. Wild orange is the oil of abundance. Breathe, which is our respiratory blend. It's That's what the name says. Put it on your chest. It helps open the airways. It smells so good. It's also great with lots of citruses as well. So if you're around my age and when we were children and got sick and our parents would rub something on our chest, it has a similar smell, all natural, all natural. It is a great oil. On Guard, we already talked about. Siberian Fir is a new favorite. So it's only been out for, oh gosh, it's probably been out maybe 2017. So it's been out for a while. It might be 17. Yeah, so it's been out for a bit. So it replaced white fir because it was not sustainable anymore to source. And that's one thing that I really love about doTERRA is they are very responsible in their sourcing. They work directly with the farmers, so there's no middleman. So everyone is benefiting. We are benefiting from these amazing oils. Siberian Fir, it's like on the tip of my tongue. Aging in Perspective. It's a great oil. Lavender, which is Calm and Communication, I believe. Yes, Communication and Calm. So interestingly enough, we don't use lavender at night a lot. Sometimes if you tend to have a bit of an overactive brain, it's the oil of communication, so it can keep things going. I have used it the odd time because this is one of my daughter's favorites. So I have used it the odd time and it hasn't been too bad, but I do like pairing it with wild orange, so a citrus and something grounding. So a fir is ground. So anything, if you think about a tree especially, right? Because like how much more grounded can you get with a tree? The tree goes into the ground. Any tree oil, Balance is a blend of many tree oils. So you could use Serenity and Balance together would be incredible. And you know what would put it kind of over the top? And I think I'm going to use this tonight actually. Add some wild orange in. It would be so good. So good. I know it would be good. I'm going to do that tonight. Serenity is the oil of tranquility. Calm and relax and just, even when I just say tranquility, like I think of, I'm picturing floating down a river and the trees are hanging down into the river and there's birds and there's animals and just tranquility. Beautiful. So Serenity is a blend. Serenity is a blend of lavender, camphor, there's some I can't pronounce, vetiver, vanilla, marjoram, okay. Yeah, it is a really, really nice, and even though it has lavender in it, like I'm not a really big floral person, so that's also why I don't use lavender a lot. Yeah, it's definitely nowhere near as floral as what the lavender is. So Serenity is a nice blend. It really is a really nice blend. Balance is my baby. I have been using this one since day one, and it is one where I could put on my wrists. I like putting it on the back of my neck. I'll also put it on my solar and sacral, more on my solar, which is above the belly button, down my spine. I love putting it down my spine. It's just help things, come into alignment and balance, and it's really beautiful. So those are the essential oils that I love using for our physical, mental, and spiritual health. So moving into home cooking. I am going to talk about Reiki, but I think I'm going to talk about that. No, let's do that now. Let's do it now. So before I began my transformation, So this does align in here. It's really important to focus on who you are from head to toe. And that also means so our physical health, emotional health, our chakra system, which to some of you might be like, what the fuck is a chakra system? Totally cool. Totally cool. We've got the root, which is essentially your butt. We've got sacral, which is essentially your reproductive organs. Above, below, so in between your reproductive and belly button. So like right about here, I'm wearing higher jeans. And then we've got our solar, which is about right there. And then we've got our heart and our throat, our third eye, and our crown. When those chakras are out of alignment, that's when shit goes sideways. That's when we can get sick. That's when we can get physically sick from our emotional, spiritual well-being. If the chakras aren't spinning the way they should be, if the energy's not moving the way it should be, it gets stagnant. And what happens with anything stagnant? It gets gross and yucky and blah, right? That's what happens. So when our chakras are all working together and everything's flowing, there's no dis-ease in the body. So one thing I learned back in 2016, late 2016, I had always wanted to do Reiki training. So one of my beautiful oil ladies was having a course. And so myself, and I think there was a couple other oil ladies signed up, and it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. The phenomenal thing is, that was in November, December 2016. January is when I started a very, very gentle cleanse. And I say very gentle, like not running to the bathroom, not depriving myself. I was eating real food, no processed. And that's when the weight suddenly started coming off. And I will be honest, I did not put two and two together until it was 2018. Yep, 2018. I spent a lot of money, 4 figures, on a coach, a personal coach. The past years prior to that, I hadn't been doing super great. Like I said, going through infertility, all of that stuff, I just kept pushing it down. Don't have time to deal with it. I was so ignorant to my health, it was not even funny because I just kept pushing it down. Not going to deal with it. Not going to do it. Nope. Fuck that. Shouldn't have that. No. No one's going to tell me what I can and can't eat. If I want to eat that shit food, I'm going to eat that shit food. But I'm not going to feel like shit after. But it doesn't work like that at all. So it's really getting in alignment and then unpacking all the shit that you kept pushing down. And I know, and this is no dig against my parents, my grandparents, aunts, uncles, no one. But think back then, even when we were younger, you don't talk about a lot of stuff, right? Think of when our parents were younger, even less was talked about. When their parents were younger, even less was talked about. No, you don't need to know about that, right? As we've progressed forward, and I am so forward thinking with this, I don't keep health issues in. Because the more you keep health issues in, the more stagnant they become, the more... Hang on, my light just went out. Let's bring it back. There we go. All right. So the more we push things down, the more stagnant our energy gets, right? And that's not fun. That's not fun at all because we don't feel good. So we need to unpack. We need to bring it up. And so the interesting thing I found was that after I did this Reiki course, in January, I started the Cleanse and Restore program. Instantly, weight started melting off of me. I wasn't doing exercise. I just had it in my mind, and I was determined I was doing this. I was making this lifestyle shift. It had taken me 2.5 years to make that decision. Which prior to making that decision to take a leap of faith with these oils, which let me tell you, this was in 2014 stepping out of the norm in a very big way. Very big way. I had to get really comfortable with tuning things and people out and trusting in me. And I am so fucking grateful I did. So grateful. So what I learned was when I went to this coach who also did Reiki work, I was telling her about my health issues and about how I begun my weight loss journey. That year in 2017, I think I shed 35 or 40 pounds, natural. Was not busting my ass working out, because for anyone with PCOS, that a ton of cardio is the worst thing you could be doing. It's not doing your body any favors. And yet, what do we see on magazines, on commercials? It's all about body image, and it's all about this exercise and that exercise, and you got to be doing this for how many hours? Like, no. You need to be in balance 100% before anything else. Yes, movement is very important. Very, very, because if you don't move, obviously you're going to seize up. So what I chose to do was yoga. So I was gaining flexibility, which I need to get back into, being completely honest. So I gained flexibility, and it was a gentle exercise because I was bigger. I was not comfortable. I was not loving on my body at all. So I was really pushing my comfort zone. I was really trusting in me. And what I found was there is 100% a connection between the sacral, right, which is our reproductive area, and that's where my illnesses were, hidden, invisible. PCOS, endometriosis, IBS, all the stuff. The more I began focusing on my spiritual and emotional health, which I think that's the best way to describe Reiki health, because it's energy, things began to come in line. And it was really phenomenal. So in 2020, early 2020, I got my Reiki 2. And then in 2021, I did my Reiki Master. It's phenomenal. Reiki power with your hands, literally. It's helped my husband so much after his multiple surgeries, bring him comfort. If someone could pay me to literally sit there all day, not even all day, no, but to just run Reiki energy into his body to heal him even more, it would be phenomenal. A lot of nights we run Reiki. The kids love it. It's a totally different way of living, but it's an incredible way of living. It's incredible. So our first line of defense now is holistic options. If something goes sideways or whatever's happening, we go to our wall. We have diffusers running pretty much every single night. Yes, there's the odd night I forget. Or the odd night that I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. It takes too long. Pam, it takes maybe 7 minutes, if that, to do all 3 of our bedrooms. If that. I can honestly probably do it in 5. if I don't stop and chat. It takes no time at all. It's little habits. And for us, those are the essentials. Big time. Some other essentials. Water. Drink the water. Very important. Physical, mental, and emotional health. Now that this little friend has arrived, I can introduce him, the Healy. It's upside down. There we go. This has been incredible, and we've had it for 4 days. 4 days we've had it. It's frequency medicine. So we're still in the learning stages. I will share more about this, but I am extremely excited about this because when we first ran it on my husband, what came up was connective tissue. He had 3 surgeries in less than a year in the exact same place. So it's phenomenal. Today I was feeling a bit more heavy energy, and what came up for me was mental balance. So I ran a few programs while I was working. It's the easiest thing to do. Clip it on here. Whoops. Clip it on there. You don't even know you're wearing it. So anyway, this is the newest thing that we've introduced to our holistic health. I will be sharing more about this little guy soon. It's incredible. If you're curious, let me know, because I can hook you up with the woman who got me started. And she's actually the same woman who got me started with Reiki. So yeah, that's even more special. So there's that. So home cooking and meal planning goes also in line with physical and mental health, emotional health, because if we're paying attention to what our body likes versus what our body doesn't like, we're thriving. This past weekend, so I know, like I've still been doing kind of a trial and error with a lot of different foods and stuff, and I've done allergy testing, I've done food sensitivity testing. That's all kind of frequency based too, which is really cool. There is a nutrition app that eventually I know I'm going to get for that because I already know I have some nutritional challenges, but I'm adapting. So with home cooking and meal planning, so one thing I knew before having the testing is cow's dairy was making me feel really irritated in my throat, and I would feel all mucusy in my face and just felt gross. And I'd feel like super mucusy, like thick mucus in my throat, and it just gross, like I felt sick, right? But I knew I wasn't sick. And that's why it's so important to pay attention to how you feel when you eat or drink certain things, because you may think you're sick, but you're not. And that's what I was finding with when I was having cow's dairy. I knew I had an issue with if I drank milk, chances are it didn't want to stay in me long. I knew that. And then I began paying more attention to when I would eat cheese, what was happening. And we used to eat a lot of cheese. I used to love cheese. What was happening? And then after I had this allergy testing, that's when I found out that, yes, cow's dairy, casein, a lot of people have the issue. And I honestly do believe, I think it's what they're putting in stuff. I really do. So anyway, that's off the list. When I had all that allergy testing done, it's easy to focus on, now I can't have this. What the fuck? So let me explain how my appointment went. So I've always loved pizza. And I was pregnant with both of my kids. I pretty much lived on pizza, which is probably why this is happening. But anyway, it's fine. They both love pizza. So I go to this allergy testing and fully expecting cow's milk. Can handle that, right? Not ideal, but I can handle it. Tomatoes. Wheat, which I already knew about. I was already actually gluten-free, and I feel so much better doing that. So yeah, also tomatoes. What? Okay, so there's the normal pizza crust, which, yes, I was already gluten-free. Now I can't have pasta sauce, pizza sauce? What? And for sure I can't have cheese. So what the fuck? Life just sucks. Everything's done. Can't have pizza. It's easy to think that. Really easy. Because that's the norm. Now I can't call and order a pizza. Why can't I make something at home? We now make our own goat cheese because I am okay with goat cheese. Turns out my husband also has the milk sensitivity allergy as well as one of the kids. Yes. We are allowing our children to kind of navigate through this themselves, and it is helping them pay attention to how they're feeling, what they're doing, what they're eating, putting, all the pieces together and figuring it out. So yeah, now we make our own goat cheese. Why do we make our own goat cheese? Pam, you can go to the store. They sell goat cheese, right? In the long packages. They also sell feta. It also all has cow's milk in it. Yes, even the packages that say goat cheese, goat feta. Read the back, turn it around. There's milk in it. It'll say contains milk. And what's interesting is the more I travel down this journey, the more I bring consciousness into all of these areas of my life and how I'm feeling. If I eat something that has cow's dairy in it now, instantly my body's like, whoa, 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 no, 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 no. We don't like this. Why are you putting it in us? Stop. Stop, stop, stop. So some of the things that I have started doing, along with cleaning up the foods that I was eating, cleaning up our home, with all the products that we were using. So cleaners, we haven't used a chemical cleaner in this house since early 2014. Got rid of all of that. I used to be a total skeptic that, it had to have that chemical, the chemical clean smell, right? In order to smell clean. Otherwise it wouldn't be clean. That's definitely not the case. The best thing that I ever did for myself, for my own health, and for my kids and my husband's health was removing all of those chemicals and toxins from our home, educating why we're making these choices, that we're not just doing this just to say, no, you can't have that, or no, you can't have this, you have to have that. There's a reason behind it. Turning things around, reading the label. These are truly the essentials of living a happy and concise, what's the word that wants to come out? Abundant. Living an abundant life. Feeling good. That's what it's all about. It really and truly is. So when you're thinking of your home space, your physical, your mental, your emotional health, your home cooking, meal planning, like I said, we make our own goat cheese now. I make energy balls, and honestly, like, balls are life. Like, they are so good. But it helps my digestive system. It took me years to heal my digestive system, and it's an ongoing process. And it's one that you want to focus on how you feel, not on how you look, but you want to focus on how you feel. Because let me tell you, it is easy for that mind to sink back to where you were. And that's where you don't want to be, right? Because that was the space where you weren't progressing, you weren't feeling good, you weren't feeling abundant. We want to bring abundance into our lives in whatever way that means for you. So the essentials for us: embracing your life as art. What is that? What could that be for you? For me, one of the things, my journal, my Rise and Rest journal. I wanted something that was in alignment with me in my day, my morning, my evening. It's got information today's oil. So if there's an oil that really stood out to me, that it's one that was pivotal in perhaps shifting that day for me, or that moment, or whatever it was. My Healy, running the emotional programs today, because I had to deal with something that was quite emotional this morning, and it brought up stuff to do with my husband's accident. So that it's just being able to bring yourself into alignment, whatever that is for you, and not caring what anyone else may think. It was a big leap I took when we first started with essential oils, and I heard a lot of flack about it. And I just think if I hadn't taken that leap of faith, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be who I am today. And I wouldn't feel this good at all. Because like I said, it's easy. It's easy. The ego likes to just push us down, push us down, push us down. But no, stand up. Stand up. Stand in your power. Stand the fuck up for who you are and who you want to be. Think of it this way, okay? There's so many people around my age that have had so many health issues, especially with regards to infertility. That's something I don't want my children to have to go through. I don't. So shifting our lifestyle when our kids were younger gives them the opportunity to begin to heal before they even actually realize they need to heal from whatever this was, right? It's bringing consciousness and awareness. That's what it's doing. Yes, so I paid attention to how I felt. And this was a journey. All of it was a journey in a very, very big way. But it's my journey, just like it's your journey. And what's essential to me may not be essential to you, and that's totally cool. It's totally cool. But the top 3 essentials for me, for sure, top 4. Let's do the top 4. Yeah, we'll do the top 4. So the top 4 is definitely our home environment. Take an assessment of your home environment. Take an assessment of the products in your home, your habits in your home, how you feel in your home. Do you love your space? Do you love your bedroom? Do you love your kitchen? And if you don't love any of that, what can you do to change that? And I'm not saying you have to move, you have to sell or anything like that. Could you declutter? Could you reorganize? Could you repurpose? That can shift the energy in a very, very big way. Your health, your mental, physical, and emotional health dictates your life. Big time, because the more you push stuff down, the more you literally push it down into you. And that's when dis-ease begins to happen. Home cooking, meal planning. So thinking of the foods you're eating, the foods you're cooking, the foods you're bringing into your home. I now do not buy meat at a grocery store. I only go to our butcher. I trust the quality. It tastes different. It feels different. It's worth it for me. It's worth it. I take a very high quality multivitamin omega oil supplements pretty well every day. The weekends I sometimes forget. Sundays, for some reason, I forget, but I'm working on that because I feel a difference. I feel a difference in how I feel. Creativity, spirituality, and joy, along with relationships and your social life. Not saying social life, you have to be out partying or doing whatever. No, are you content with the relationships in your life and your social life, whatever that may be? Whatever that may be for you. Take a deep dive and try and figure that out. Creativity, spirituality, and joy. I am not a religious person. I am very spiritual. And that's where Reiki, my pendulum, another favorite thing, or another essential. This is definitely one of my essentials, my pendulum. I also have crystals in here. Some other essentials for me, like think of what lights you up, right? If you're thinking creativity, what lights you up? What makes you feel good? For me, I love grabbing my camera and capturing amazing moments and art. Because any moment that you capture then becomes a piece of art. Your life is art, and it is unique, and it is yours. And what do you want it to be for you?